everyone. We are back, Tina and Ola. We are your pandemic Prepsters.
And you are our Prepsters as well.
That's right.
Come along for this journey.
Welcome. I've invited my sister Ola. She is the domestic and the dehydrating diva. And I have asked her to help me with my beans. So I've been storing and cooking with beans forever. And I've made the mistake in the past of, buying a big 25 or 50 pound bag of beans thinking, oh, I'm gonna go through that, cooking for my kids, and I don't always get to it. And then I'll go to make something and I soak my beans, I cook them. I even know, the trick of putting some baking soda in when you're soaking and cooking your beans. Like if you have older beans, you can do that and it'll soften them. And I'm telling you, no amount of baking soda would soften these beans because I let them sit too long in the air in the plastic bag. And so Ola's gonna help me do better, know better, and then do better, and how to store my beans so that I don't have dry, hard, crunchy beans. So what do I do?
So you don't like al dente?
Not on my beans, no.
No, I want...
Bacon though. I like bacon in my beans.
Okay, so the trick is by removing the oxygen from the air. Okay, oxygen is the destructive factor here. You protect the beans, you did good. Glass jar,
Now I did.
Glass jar, metal lid, perfect.
Okay.
Oxygen cannot penetrate glass or metal. So by storing it in here, that helps.
And
However,
neither can mice or cockroaches or toddlers.
well, if they break it.
Oh, that's true. Okay. Mice,
yeah.
or whatever pests.
Yeah. But glass is ideal. Mason jars or any of this is a old pickle jar, I believe, right?
It
That's
is.
a pickle jar. These are great to keep. Don't throw them away, people. There's so many wonderful uses, and we'll be covering that throughout this series. All right, so this is your magic tool. This is called an oxygen absorber packets. We will leave a link below where you can get these. These are wonderful. These are the trick to making these last a lot longer and to make it to where it's more friendly cookable. Okay, so what you're going to do is you first need to figure out what amount of oxygen absorber do I need. We'll leave a description below on the different sizes, your quarts, your gallons, and so forth. What you need will be listed down below, so check that out.
So you need different amounts for different size jars.
Yes, oxygen absorbers come from 10 cc to 2000 cc. So just depending, like a 5-gallon bucket, 2000 cc. A gallon, roughly about 500 cc. Depends on what you store, from 300 to 500. It's just safer, just go with the 500, and then you won't have to worry about whether or not, because if this is empty, the 500 cc will remove all the oxygen.
So it's probably better if I ideally fill it up and then...
Yeah, you always want to leave neck room.
Okay.
Just like you do with canning, but you don't want to fill it to the very top, add your oxygen absorber. It's not going to be able to create that negative pressure, because that's what these do.
I got enough negative pressure in my life. I don't know about you.
I've been divorced. Yeah, you could say that. No. All right, enough. But positively, these are your friends. These will help you preserve your food for decades to come. So oxygen absorber packets are the key. Removing oxygen, good, the best thing. Leaving the nitrogen and the other gases is fine too, because that's not harmful. Nitrogen is fine. 78% of what we breathe is nitrogen. It's good for us. It's good for your beans. Oxygen causes staleness, causes the food to become stale over time, loses its nutrients. All right, so look, we're going to add 500 cc's. Now, this is only 300 cc's, so I'm pulling from my stash. I have some 100 cc's here. I always label. So I'm going to pull a 300 and 2 of my hundreds to equal 500.
Good math. That's not the common core math.
I didn't even have to count on my hand.
That was really impressive. Yeah.
For a younger sister, not too bad. So I'm taking out my 300. Now I could add 2 of the 300s and that would be okay.
A little extra.
A little extra. A Band-Aid over a Band-Aid. It's okay. But I'm just going to add 2 of my hundreds. I have them. Why not use them? And these I store in mason jars.
And that's it.
And that's it. I just put the lid on.
Wow.
And this will create negative pressure, and that will reseal because it has a rubber gasket underneath the lid. And so your beans should be good. There you go.
So let me ask though. So when I want to go use this instead, I'm going to use half the jar because I'm only cooking for 6 now instead of 25 people. I do that a lot. So do I just put the oxygen absorbers back in there? I take out what I need, put them back in, or do I need new ones?
You need new ones.
Or put it in a smaller jar.
Or put it in a smaller jar.
Okay, okay. All right, good.
But when you have these, use them. This will be good for more longer term, where your typical mason jar like this is more short term.
Right.
But you can also store them in mylar bags. But for your shelf, these are ideal because you see what's in there. You don't forget about it. You see it.
So quick question, because we talked about in other, I'm going to step off stage right real quick. We talked before about plastic. Would you use them in these too, or is this more porous?
That's more porous. That will leak air.
Okay, okay.
So it will leak oxygen. So
more temporary, short term.
Yeah, just to keep the bugs away.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Now you could add an oxygen absorber to that to make sure that if there's any weevils or anything that's brought from the store, it will end that life cycle in there. But over time, that's going to leak oxygen because it's plastic, it's not glass or metal. So you could add an oxygen absorber to pack it, but don't be surprised if it concades a little bit. That would be perfectly normal because the fact that it creates that negative 21% pressure. So it may concave a little bit, but it's not going to be enough to break it or anything. But that is ideal for just your normal storage.
Okay.
So.
And bay leaves too will help kill those weevils. I actually got my own bay leaf plant this year. I'll have to show that to you next time maybe.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, Ola.
Thanks.
That's really helpful.
Thank you, Prepsters, for coming along on this tip of the day.